Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we're diving deep into our heartfelt series, Healing Beyond Betrayal. This month, we're focused on a topic that many of us find challenging, yet crucial. Today is all about recognizing red flags to prevent future betrayal. See, whether you're faced with deception in a relationship, friendship, or even professional environments, today's discussion is aimed at empowering you to spot warning signs early and protect your emotional well-being. So before we get deep into this conversation, let's take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to talk about what's recognizing these red flags are, all right? It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to transform your pain into power? Join us this September for the 30-day Healing Beyond Betrayal Challenge. From Hurt to Hope, starting September 1st, embark on a journey of healing and self-discovery. Each day, you'll receive empowering lessons, practical exercises, and supportive community connections designed to help you overcome the hurt of betrayal and reclaim your joy. Don't let betrayal define your story. It's time to rise, heal, and rebuild a brighter future. Sign up today at theseasonofselflovepodcast.com.
Hey, my beautiful souls, this is your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, and I am excited to share something special with you. Introducing my latest ebook workbook, Healing Beyond Betrayal, a journey of growth, empowerment, and renewal. In these 55 pages, I offer you insight, heartfelt stories, and practical worksheets designed to guide you on your healing journey. So if you experience betrayal or you are seeking personal growth, this resource is made just for you. You see, it's time to reclaim your power and embrace renewal. So you can get your copy by visiting the seasonofselflovepodcast.com. And as a thank you for being part of our community, use the code HEALED09 at checkout to enjoy a 15% discount. So let's embark on this journey together because you deserve to heal, grow, and thrive. Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by me and Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to AskNyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. Hey, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and we are continuing the conversation of our series this month of Healing Beyond Betrayal. And today we're talking about recognizing red flags to prevent future betrayals. But before we tackle today's heavy topic, let's center ourselves with a grounded meditation. So wherever you are, I invite you to find a comfortable position, all right? All right, so close your eyes. Now I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Filling your lungs with fresh air. I want you to hold it for a moment. Now exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension that you feel. Now I want you to imagine a warm and protective light developing you, shielding you from the past hurts. Now with each inhale, I want you to draw in calm and peace. Now with each exhale, I want you to let go of any doubt and pain. And I want you to silently repeat after me. I am worthy of love and respect. Now I want you to hold on to this feeling of safety and self-love. All right? So when you are ready, I want you to gently open your eyes, feeling the refreshed and prepared to engage with today's topic. All right, thank you for joining me in that moment, in that time. And if you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, where we help center ourselves before we get into the topic at hand. So now let's explore the vital signs that can help us to steer us clear of future headaches, right? All right, so all this month we are talking about healing beyond betrayal. And so what I first want to talk about is understanding betrayal. And I know we spoke about it before, and I want to continue to let you know and explain to you again what betrayal is. Betrayal is that word that often brings a chill to our spine, right? You see, it can manifest in so many different ways, from a partner's infidelity to a friend's dishonesty, or even betrayal within our families. Now, each act of betrayal chips away at our trust and can deeply affect our self-esteem. So now the whole thing is, what are red flags? What are red flags? How do we know that something is happening, right? Well, red flags are warning signs, subtle or overt behaviors that something in a relationship that isn't right. Y'all know what that is. This can range from a persistent dishonesty to emotional manipulation, or even more overt acts like disrespecting your boundaries. You see, ignoring these sounds often stems from a deep-seated hope that things will change, or from fear of confronting the truth. And I can raise my hand and say that I ignored a lot of the red flags. A lot of the red flags. That saying that you have to believe it when somebody show you who they are, trust and believe it. Yeah, no matter who they are, now I pay more attention now than I did before. So what I want to do is I want to give you some tips on how to recognize these red flags. So to better protect ourselves, it's very crucial to trust our instincts and recognize pattern of behavior that constantly feel wrong. You see, open communication about your feelings and boundaries is key. And remember, journaling can be powerful too, to document and reflect on these red flags, helping you to process and acknowledge your intuition. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a list. I'm going to give you a list of what these red flags are, and I'm going to give you an example. So if I'm reading this, I'm reading this to you right now, right? I want you to be like, check off, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. All right. All right, so the first one is inconsistent behavior. So if you notice your partner, they're frequently late coming in from work, or often avoids giving specific details about their day, that's a red flag. I had several of those, especially in my first marriage. I can laugh at it now, but yes. Another one is the lack of transparency. That's when they start to become secretive about their phone or changing their passwords or refusing to share it even when you ask nicely. Another one is emotional withdrawal. That's when your partner used to be enthusiastic about spending weekends together, but now prefers to spend time alone or with friends instead. Another red flag is defensiveness. See, when you ask about their new late night outings, they snap back like, why do you want to know? Why do you always asking me some questions? Rather than addressing the concerns or the question that you just asked. And then your gut feeling. Your gut feeling. That's when you have an uneasy feeling whenever they go out. And even there's no concrete evidence of anything suspicious. A change of routine. When your partner suddenly, starts taking long business trips with little notice and provides vague reasons for those changes. Or excessive privacy. Yeah. They begin locking their phone in a way that they never did before and quickly change the subject if you bring it up. Dismissal of concerns, when you express worry about their behavior and they brush it off by saying, you're being paranoid, or making you feel insecure or voicing your feelings. I think last week myself and Dr. Will, we talked about this gaslighting thing. That's a part of gaslighting. Emotional instability. They go from being affectionate one moment to very distant and irritable the next, leaving you confused about what might have triggered the change. And the next one is change and infection. They used to be very loving and engaged, but now they seem indifferent to your physical affection and avoid intimacy altogether. And the next one, involvement with new friends. They suddenly start hanging out with a new group of friends, but refuse to introduce you to them. Or don't share much information about them. Yeah, that's one. Giving you some of the red flags or some of the examples. You have to make sure that you recognize these flags early and trust your instincts. Look for the patterns and maintain open communication about the boundaries. All right, so right now I want you to just take a moment to listen to a letter that a listener wrote in to me. And her name is Jessica, and she writes, Dear Nyomi, I've been an avid listener of your podcast for months, and it's been a beacon of light during some of my darkest times. And today I felt compelled to share my story, which I hope might resonate with someone else out there. I recently ended a relationship that in hindsight was riddled with red flags. I simply didn't see, and I chose to ignore. I started out wonderfully, or so I thought. He was charming, attentive, and swept me off my feet. But slowly things started to change. He became distant. His sweet messages became sporadic, and I caught him in several lies about where he was or who he was with. But despite these signs, I explained away each incident. I made excuses. I told myself he was just busy with work or stress. I didn't want to confront him or the issue because I was afraid of what I might find. When friends and family expressed concern, I defended him, convinced them that they misunderstood his intentions. And the final straw came when I discovered that he had been seeing someone else. It was a painful moment of truth, but it also forced me to face the reality that I had been avoiding. I realized that I had allowed my fear of being alone to cloud my judgment and override my intuition. So reflecting on this, I see how important it is to trust my instincts and not ignore the warning signs. Your episode on Healing Beyond Betrayal came at a perfect time for me, and I'm learning to rebuild my confidence and ensure that this doesn't happen again. Thank you for your empowering words and for fostering a community that helps each of us grow from such experience. Thank you so much, Jessica. All right, thank you, Jessica, for sharing your heart with us. It's very courageous to step towards healing. And your story is so powerful, and it's a reminder of why we must heed the red flags in relationships. So listeners, you see how that affected Jessica? How long it went? All right, now I'd like to turn this discussion over to you, our listeners. And here are a few questions based on Jessica's experience. I encourage you to reflect on these and share your thoughts either on social media or by sending us an email. And your insights are so invaluable to our community. Number one, what red flags have you experienced in your past relationships that you initially overlooked? The next question, how did you come to recognize these warning signs, and what changed for you once you did? My next question, what advice will you give to someone who feels that they are currently ignoring potential red flags? And my last question, how do you balance trust with awareness in your relationship to prevent overlooking red flags? So let's open up this conversation and support each other in learning and growing. You see, sharing your experience not only helps you, but can also guide others in similar situations. Well, you know, we have the Season of Self-Love podcast Facebook group, as well as, you know, you can always send us an email at seasonofselflove@gmail.com. at gmail.com. So this week we have some more amazing guests that are coming on that have amazing stories. I'm telling you, one is going to truly rock you off of your block. It really is. But I truly have been enjoying this whole series. And I know you heard the commercial earlier that we do have an ebook. It's called Healing Beyond Betrayal, a journey of growth, empowerment, and renewal. And it's amazing, 55 pages, sharing different strategies, my story, worksheets, and all of that good thing. And right now we are doing a very special, just for listening to this podcast right now, is just to put in HEALD, HEALD 09. When you do a checkout, just go to the Season of Self-Love podcast, hit that link, and it'll send you right there. As well as, I know that we are a little bit for probably about 10 or 12 days, not exactly, no, but whatever day it is that of the challenge that we have right now, the 30 days of Healing Beyond Betrayal challenge, you can always start at day one. You can always start at day one. It's a free challenge. You can go to the Season of Self-Love podcast.com as well right there, and you can join in that. You can join in there and join the Facebook page right there. All right. So again, I want you to reflect on these questions, and let's continue to support each other in our journeys of self-love and healing. And I want you to remember that you are not alone in recognizing red flags. It's a step towards healthier and more fulfilling relationship. All right. So as we wrap this show up, I want you to remember that recognizing red flag is just not about spotting them in others. It's also about acknowledging and addressing the areas within ourselves that may ignore the signs. You see, this process is about fostering self-love and ensuring that we set healthy boundaries that honor our worth. So I encourage you to take some time after this podcast to reflect on your personal experience. Again, have you ever overlooked red flags? How did it impact your life? Sharing your story can be incredible healing and can help others feel less alone in their journey. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me today here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And share it with anyone who you might find it helpful. Again, tune in next time as we continue to explore and more empowering topics designed to enrich your journey. So until then, keep loving yourself, keep growing, and remember, you have the power to change your life for the better. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.